You know, constantly traveling and being on flights and trying to maintain your weight is honestly the worst.
We invite you to browse through extravaganza and flight certificate catalog, which is in the seat pocket. Our meal service will come on shortly with a hot breakfast, followed later in the flight by warm sandwiches.
You really don't, Haley. There's a lot of editing here, so none of these stuff really actually make it to the final draft.
I look good in red.
This video is really overdue. I wanted to talk about weight loss. It's a little bit of a sensitive subject over for me, so bear with me. I'll try my best.
See, there's not really a lot of pictures and videos out there because when you're the fattest kid in school, you kind of tend to stay away from the camera. Even if you start to go back on this Instagram, you'll really run into some old content. I think this picture in particular is the oldest photo of me you can find, or at least the heaviest. I was probably somewhere between 122 to 126 kilos at this time. And the reason I'm saying probably is because, you know, after a while you stop getting on the scale because you don't want to see that number. I mean, it wasn't any particular event. I mean, I was just a kid that really loved food and playing video games, and that combination together is, you know, not really that healthy.
Why have you got like a door in the air?
There are doors everywhere. You can't question his fetish.
You have to put a sign on it that says more door.
Me being me, I obviously took this a little too far. I started posting every change once a month on Instagram, and if you go down this account, you can see basically all of the stuff that I've done, all of the changes that have happened to my body. And it was amazing because the first month I started doing this, I lost about 16 kilos. Currently I am at 75.1. When I started this whole journey, I had this goal to hit 72, so I'm a few kilos off. I'm trying to get that last bit down, but you know, still I don't have the best relationship with food. I tend to binge at times and then you know, cut back drastically. It's a work in progress, but you know, making some strides. But here's the thing, and I get this question asked so many times. All of my friends and family and people that I know that saw the weight loss kept on asking me, Bhanoob, I want to lose weight. What should I do? Is it intermittent fasting? Is it diet? Is it exercise? Is it strength or cardio or calorie restrictions?
Losing fat and building muscle at the same time. It's what everyone wants, and a lot of people say it just isn't possible. But that's because a lot of people don't read scientific literature. In reality, dozens of studies...
Honestly, the best way to get started is by educating yourself. There are people like Jeff Nippard, Radu Antonio that have created amazing content that helps you understand the human physiology, how calories work, how energy works, so that you can really understand that calories in, calories out math really does make sense when you're starting out. And that's all I did to begin with, and that's what I followed.
But it is just one of many studies showing that recomposition is common.
I've gone ahead and taken the liberty to tag a few people in the description below to make it easier for you guys.
Every day, millions of people around the world run on treadmills to lose body fat. And yet, 90% of them look exactly the same a few months later. Why?
Cardio doesn't lead to fat loss by itself. A few years ago, I used to believe that sweat means fat loss. And every time I exercised and my t-shirt looked like this, I thought, hells yeah bro, I'm losing all kinds of fat. But I was wrong. Sweat has nothing to do with it. Body fat is burned only if you are in a calorie deficit. And the problem is, most people doing cardio don't create a deficit because they eat back what they burn. After all, 1 hour on the treadmill only burns around 500 calories, the equivalent of a small snack. Think about how sad that is. You do all that effort and then completely eliminate its effect by having what? 12 Oreos?
At the end of the day, what I tell people, it's so fundamental, right? Because if you're starting from a place where you are significantly overweight, you've had bad experiences with food, you don't really need to do the most optimum thing. Just do anything, even as something as simple as adding more vegetables to your diet is going to move you so far ahead than not doing it. So no matter where you are, at least in the position I was at, whatever thing I did, I didn't need a specific strategy. Whatever I did, I was going to lose weight.
I committed to a 1,000-calorie daily deficit, and I knew I didn't have the discipline to constantly check macros and calories. So what I did was I repeated the same meal. I went to Subway twice a day, had the grilled chicken salad and nothing more other than a Coke Zero twice a day for 9 full months, and till I really got sick of it.
So we're currently in Edinburgh, Scotland. Came here to meet up with a bunch of clients. It is absolutely freezing. It's about 3 or 4 degrees right now. The problem with the temperature is the colder it is, the rougher it is on my joints, which sucks, but work has been good.
So that was a problem. About 5 or 6 years ago, I got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition called Ankylosing Spondylitis. It's basically a genetic form of arthritis that attacks your joints and causes your bones to fuse up so you can't really move freely. And unfortunately, there is no cure for that disease.
When I woke up today, I was in so much pain that I couldn't move a single inch of my body. At the same time, all I wanted to do was move so that the pain would stop. It took me 10 minutes to finally get out of bed and 10 more minutes to reach the bathroom. Every time I moved a leg forward, I screamed. Not like a human, like an animal. I walked to university a centimetre at a time, holding on to everything I could find in the street. University's really lonely. I don't get the chance to socialise with other students because it would take me the whole break just to get to the cafeteria. I can't sleep because of the pain. Lying down is the worst. My joints are pressed between the weight of my body and the pressure of the mattress. Even exhaustion isn't enough to make me sleep. What I didn't know is that this is going to get harder and harder every day. And I know that tomorrow's going to be just the same. I've had the same tomorrow for 8 years now.
In December of 2016, I had a really rough month where I couldn't really move or get out of bed, which is kind of why I started this weight loss journey. Over the last couple of years, I've gotten significantly fitter to the point where I can actually run, and that's amazing. Even though the condition has gotten lighter, I still do have my frequent off days where it's really difficult to get anything done.
And look, if you were not trying to be a professional athlete, where you start doesn't really matter. If you were like me by any chance, if you did something as simple as added a bunch of vegetables to your diet because you've had a really unhealthy relationship with food, or just started walking for 30 minutes a day, you're going to get ahead. But the one thing that you need to remember is whether it's losing weight or running a business, the only thing that matters is consistency, because this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. A marathon that's gonna take years, so you need to be able to have the consistency to do it day in, day out, again and again, without wavering. And that's really all there is to it.